Hello everyone, it's Ellah again, your friendly neighborhood Filipina ESL teacher here in Vietnam. So for today's video, you guys, I'm going to talk about the reissuance of work permits for foreign workers here in Vietnam. So if you're one of those people who, number one, recently lost, tampered or damaged their work permits, then yes, you should watch this video. Or if you are number two, recently got married, congratulations, and you want to change something on your work permit like your last name, your name, or your location, then yes, you should definitely watch this video if you don't want to read a whole article regarding the reissuance of work permits here in Vietnam. So as you all know, work permits are like one of the most important documents that you should have if you want to legally work here in Vietnam. As you all know, before you can actually get yourself a TRC or a temporary resident card here in Vietnam, you first need to have a valid work permit. But for today's video, yes, I'm going to talk about how you're gonna get another one if you already had one before. Who's eligible to have this procedure done? So if you're one of those people that I mentioned earlier, then most definitely you are eligible to have your work permits reissued. But on the other hand, if you're one of those people who want to know more about how to get a new work permit, then you should wait for the next video where I'm going to tackle about getting a new work permit. So yes, so what are the dossiers now that you need to prepare for the issuance of your work permit? First things first though, you really need the help of your employer, because you would need to prepare documents that only they can provide. Like number one, you would need a sample of the employer's written request for reissuance of a work permit. This is in accordance to the provisions of form number 11, which is right over here. Second is you would need two colored photos of yourself with the dimensions of 5 centimeters by 6 centimeters with white background. So the photos must be taken within 6 months from the date of the application submission. So the third one is a written approval of the need to employ foreign workers, but this one is a case basis. For example, you are actually not a new employee anymore, you have worked for your company for quite a long time, so they might not ask this document from you. So in cases such as you have lost your work permit, or you have damaged it somehow, or it got tampered, or you just want to change some of the information there, then you would need these documents. Number one, you would need a confirmation of the commune level police office where you live or where the foreigner resides. This must be an original or a notarized copy. You also need a certification by a competent foreign authority in accordance with the law. So for example, if you had your work permit consular legalized, then you can also use this to assist you or to give this specific government agency proof that your work permit is legal. Or if you want to like change your name, or like you just want to like change some of the content of the work permit, then of course you would need some papers such as your marriage certificate, which is original, and also a notarized copy for you to show that this is your new name. What is the fee for the reissuance of work permits? So according to the provisions of point B, clause 2, article 3, this one, for the regrant of your work permit, the fee actually must not exceed 450,000 VND per permit. So this thing though is actually like varied. It varies from province to province. As you know, you might actually need coffee money in cases such as you have lost your work permit and might need a new one. So you don't really know. So just like bring more amount. what are the procedures now for the reissuance of work permits? So like what I said earlier, step number 1, it's very important to notify your employer first. So after discovering that you have lost your work permit, or you have damaged it, or it got tampered, or you might want to change information in your work permit, then of course you must notify your employer first. So you must report to the employer as well as perform other necessary work. For example, obtain the certification of the competent authority in case of loss of your work permit. Step number 2 is to prepare the application for the reissuance of your work permits. So in this step, the employer and the employee will prepare a full set of 4 documents that I mentioned earlier. Third step is to submit application for reissuance of work permits for foreigners. So yes, you must need to apply, or you need to send an application for the reissuance to the Ministry of Labor, Invalids and Social Affairs, or the Provincial Department of Labor, War, Invalids and Social Affairs that issued the lost, damaged or altered work permit information. Last step, or step number 4, is of course to get your result. The employer will receive a reissued work permit or a written refusal to reissue it with reasons within 3 working days from the date of receipt of a complete dossier of application for a work permit reissuance. So yes guys, those are the procedures in getting yourself a newly reissued work permit. Like what I said in step number 4, you might get a refusal letter for reasons that we might not know, but it doesn't hurt to try. So what is the duration of this newly reissued work permit? So it is equal to the term of the reissuance to the time the foreign worker or you have worked up to the time of applying for the reissuance of the said work permit. So this is clearly stated in Article 15 over here. So yes, you guys, it's quite hard to do it all by yourself. That's why you might need the help of your employer. But if things don't really go well, then you can actually just ask help from an agent. But that's the case, if you ask the help of your agent, you might need to prepare more money for that, not just 450,000 VND, because you would need to pay for their service. So guys, I wish you luck in getting yourself a newly reissued work permit, and see you later in the next videos. Goodbye.